You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Hello, my name is Mason Grace.
And I am your superintendent, Jason Manuel. Welcome to this edition of GMSD's Spotlight on Excellence. We will spend the majority of the time today focusing on the expansion and development of our strings program. But since this is the last show of the season, we will take a little time to talk at the end about our accomplishments during the first year of the Germantown Municipal School District.
Now let's introduce our guests, Mr. Long Long Kang and Miss Lydia Kabalen. Welcome to our show. So, tell us a little bit about our strings program.
My name is Long Long Kang, and I'm the director of the Houston High School and Houston Middle School orchestras. And thank you for having me here to introduce the strings program. Yeah. We are the first municipal school district to have the 5th grade strings program. And currently we have 40 students in the elementary school program and 60 in the middle school and 60 in the high school programs. Yeah, and then all those students, when they come to the program, they don't need to have any experience. We'll spend around 2 to 3 months to help them learn the basic techniques and the music theory. And after that, they can start to play the orchestra music. And by the time when they graduate from high school, I hope they can play very advanced orchestra music.
All right, so you said they have no experience, they don't have to have experience when they come. Do you help them choose an instrument, or they learn all the instruments? Or?
Well, at our 5th grade program at Dogwood and Farmington, they have the choice. This year, they had the choice of taking violin. That's violin class once a week. This next year, we're hoping to add cello to that, so they can get started with that. If they want to switch in middle school, they may have that option, but of course, it's good to stick with what you start with. In middle school, they are free to choose between the 4 instruments: bass, cello, viola, or violin.
So are they learning to read music at the same time that they're learning to play the instrument, or at what stage in their development do they learn to read?
They start to learn an instrument first, how to hold an instrument, and right after that, maybe the second week, they start to learn how to read the music. So actually, the progress really fast. Yeah, so after a couple of months, they can play the orchestra music already. Yeah. Yeah.
Students learn in different ways. We do a lot of ear training, and we also do note reading to incorporate different ways of how people learn. So,
Well, tell me a little bit about how they learn and the progression that they go through. Is it just rote, where they're learning memory and they can reproduce sounds and reproduce music they read, or is there a creative side to it too, where they get to create their own pieces of music?
yeah, that's a good question. In 5th grade, I solely have taught by rote, which means I play something, they play something back. So it's solely by ear training, and then once they get into middle school, we kind of start incorporating note reading
like
more.
in the middle school and high school class, we also include a composition. So once a week, like for high school students, I will give them some rhythms, and then for them to compose a certain music, and then they will be able to play for each other at the end of the class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, they're in a group, obviously, in the class, but do you have to differentiate in the class based on ability, where you have some who are playing different pieces, more complex pieces of music than others who are just learning?
Yeah, so we have like violin 2, violin 1 sections, and then usually violin 2 is a little bit easier than violin 1. And the bass and cello section kind of a little bit on the easier side if they are playing the same music. So they have easier rhythms. So usually I can tell if a student is good at certain instrument, and I will make sure they are in the right section when they are playing the music. Yeah.
You know, I saw recently I saw a performance at GPAC, and I even saw, I think, all 5 schools on stage at one time. That was amazing. What kind of performances do y'all do outside of the school time? What else?
Okay. For the middle school and high school, we compete every year at the local competitions and in the national competitions. And a lot of the groups, there are string quartets at high school, so I will assign them to perform at the local events and some outreach concerts. And a lot of students are also involved in the youth symphony. Yes.
we really only get a chance to perform all together at our spring concert. I think we might make that a tradition. It was really cool. We got so many compliments of seeing everyone on stage at the same time. The last piece that we did together was easy enough for the 5th graders to play with our high school students, which was just such a great experience for them.
Because I think for several families, we had multiple children from the
Yes.
same family on
Yeah,
stage,
it
which
was
is
very neat.
exceptional.
What are there certain skills that they need to master at certain grade levels before they move on, or what skills do they master in the program, should I ask?
Okay, for the orchestra repertoire, like in the middle school, they start from grade 1 and 2, and then when they move on to the high school, they start to play the orchestra music in grade like 3 to 5, which means they start to have really complex rhythms, like a lot of dotted rhythms, the triplets, all those different kind of rhythms in each section. In the middle school, a lot of music, they are playing the same rhythms in each section. So that's the difference between the middle school and high school orchestras.
Oh, great.
Well, thank you for telling us about the strings program.
Thank you.
When we return, we will continue our discussion on the GMSD Strings program. As we go to break, enjoy a little sample of our high school musicians.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back. I am Superintendent Jason Manuel.
And I'm Mason Grace, and you are watching GMSD Spotlight on Excellence. We are discussing the strings program with Mr. Kang and Ms. Kabalen.
Now that we've heard about our strings program, Mr. Kang, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I was born and raised in Taiwan, and I came to the United States about 10 years ago. Yeah, so I started the piano at the age of 4 and violin at the age of 5. Then after I came to United States, I studied the violin at the Mannes College of Music in New York City. And I also took a conducting course at the Juilliard. And I also did my doctoral study at the University of Memphis. Yeah, and besides teaching at GMSD, I also play the violin with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra and conduct the Germantown Youth Symphony.
Well, great, great. Now your turn, Ms. Kabalen. How about
Okay.
you, tell them?
Well, I was born and raised in Lexington, Kentucky. I also got my degree in violin performance, my bachelor's degree from there. I did my master's degree at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville in music education, and that's what brought me here. I've been teaching beginning strings in Knoxville. I did for about 3 years, and then landed this job here in GMSD, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
So obviously we just didn't grab a teacher from somewhere. Y'all know what y'all are doing, so this is very good.
Well, now that we've heard about you in the program, can you tell us a little bit about the instruments that the students would get to play if they took your strings courses?
Want to start with the bass?
Yes.
Okay.
So what is this?
This is the biggest instrument of the string family, and Mr. Kang is going to demonstrate.
Something. So
on the
for the
bass.
string instrument, you can either pluck or use the bow to play. Now I'm gonna pluck the bass first.
Okay. So obviously we wouldn't start a fifth grader off with the bass.
Well, yeah, generally the bass is a little big for the elementary students. We do offer it as soon as they get into 6th grade. They have the option of taking bass.
that's exciting.
So I'm sure some people are out there wondering, how do you travel with that thing?
I know, yes.
Yeah, we just came back from Disney World, and then one of the bass players told me, Mr. Kang, I want to change back to violin.
Yes.
Okay, so what is this one here?
This is the cello, and I'm not going to play it quite yet. We'll wait to our little duet that we'll maybe
okay.
present you with later, but we'll move on maybe to the viola next.
Okay.
So this is the viola, just a little bit slightly bigger than the violin. So on my right side is the violin, and this is the viola. So
The viola is strung the same as a cello.
Nice.
So it has a little bit of a deeper sound than the violin. They're shaped the same, but it's just a little bit larger.
Okay.
How do you do this?
So these instruments complement each other.
Yes.
So most of the time you get to play them together.
So this is the cello. Like I said, it is strung the same way as a viola, but you play it sitting down, obviously. And in orchestra, all these instruments complement each other, and you can take something as a very simple melody or tune and make something beautiful out of it. For example, Pachelbel's canon. I only played 8 notes that whole time, and actually that piece, the cellist plays 8 notes the entire time while the violin gets the melody. But that's just a simple melody that we like to teach our students because it's easy and they get to hear something beautiful made of that. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So students in class, then you would have a mix of these instruments all learning tunes at the same time in class.
Right. Yeah, as string teachers, we teach every instrument in the class. So we like to take students out different times in the class and maybe do a sectional with the lower strings. So that would be teaching the cello and bass maybe at the same time and then taking the violins and the violas out. So that helps too.
Oh, wow. Well, I think you've shown our students who aren't currently taking strings that this is an exceptional program that I think everyone would want to be a part of.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
out here and showing us your talents and sharing your talents with our students. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
When we return, we would like to highlight just some of the many accomplishments of our students and teachers this year. Now, let's hear from our middle school program.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
As the first year of our Germantown School District comes to a close, we would like to reflect on how far we have come in such a short period of time. We had a 6-month window to open the doors and work out a lot of details. Whether we were talking about hiring over 500 employees or choosing an insurance plan, to looking at what instructional programs would be included in our schools. We accomplished our major goals of opening our doors and getting the schools up and running, but I think it is safe to say we did a lot more than just that. One of our first challenges was choosing our logo and motto. For our motto, we chose Excellence Always, because it mirrors the city's motto, Excellence Every Day. And our goal is to provide excellent opportunities for our students in academics, athletics, and all extracurricular activities. Our next challenge was creating new school zones. We had to figure out how to condense the historic 8 Germantown schools into a 5-school district. To accomplish this, we made sure to include parents, teachers, and administrators in the process. We formed a committee of 32 individuals comprised of those stakeholders from all 8 schools in the Germantown city limits to develop what you see now as our new elementary boundaries. Riverdale is in blue, Farmington in yellow, and Dogwood in green. Our middle school boundaries are similar. You see Riverdale in blue and Houston Middle in yellow. Another objective was for us to open and improve our television studio production. So we transformed a storage bay into a high-quality television studio. What you see here are the transformation pictures. First, we had to empty out all the supplies from the storage materials that had been building up over the years. We resurfaced the floors, painted the walls, added ducts and ventilation, and in just a short period of time, we are ready to start production. Talk about a quick transformation. This is one of our sets, our talk show set, that can be altered to fit any show. We also have a regular news show that occurs at the school. Our students give the news in the morning and give announcements every day. We also had to update an area for our students to prepare the shows, to edit, and to control what was happening inside the TV studio. So what you see here in these pictures is the transformation of a classroom into a true production area. All of these activities are student-led and student-directed. Students develop the skills so that when they move on to college or career, they have this background in television production. Another new program we would like to mention is our Outstanding STEM program. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. This program helps develop those higher-order thinking skills needed for careers in engineering and mathematics. Our middle school and high school STEM programs received 3D printers this year. These 3D printers allow students to apply what they've learned in their science, engineering, and math classes to real-world scenarios. So, for example, developing a prosthetic for a Barbie doll that would be similar to the process of developing a human prosthetic, or creating parts for a space shuttle or for machinery. We had a very exciting challenge for students before the Christmas break. We had an ornament contest using the 3D printers. Students had to develop an ornament that incorporated an engineering theme. What you see here is the trophy of our first 3D printer contest. The trophy itself was printed by the 3D printer. This is the winner of our first STEM challenge, who incorporated a fulcrum as his engineering theme. We've also expanded the STEM program to the high school this year and have plans to expand it into elementary grades. Another program this year that we've expanded, and you've just seen in the show, is our strings program. Historically in Houston Middle and Houston High School, we had strings available for students as a fine art. We expanded this program to Riverdale Middle and the elementary school students. Students can take this as part of their MAPS curriculum. This year, we had an exceptional concert where all students who took strings in all 5 of our schools performed at once on stage. It was a true testament to the hard work of those students and also the skills of our teachers. Another addition this school year was a student-created website at Houston Middle School. This is a pilot program for us. We have students that have developed very advanced computer skills, and when you visit the site, you can see which student designed each page. This year, we certified all 9th and 11th graders at Houston High School in CPR. We partnered with Germantown Methodist Hospital, and they were able to come in, teach, and certify our students. This will not only give these students the opportunity to save lives, but also give them needed skills for some common high school jobs like babysitting and lifeguarding. We have also continued our tradition of academic excellence in Germantown schools. This year so far, our Honors Academy class of 2015 alone has received over $4 million in scholarship money. In our Honors Academy, we have 454 total honors sections, 22 AP courses, which is made up of 258 sections, and their ACT average was 33.15 out of 36, and an average score of 33.15 is phenomenal. We had 3 students score a perfect score, and 1 student was accepted to all 8 Ivy League schools. The overall school ACT average was a 24, the highest in Shelby County. All this to say we have some truly amazing students. From our 7 students recognized as academic all-stars by the Commercial Appeal, to a Spelling Bee champion, first place in the Shelby County Spelling Bee, to a great artist. This young lady's poster was chosen as the winner of the Memphis in May Children's Poster Competition. We also have students showing excellence in politics. Antonio Scott and Julia Hostetter from our high school have been selected as state representatives of the Student Congress on Policies in Education, otherwise known as SCOPE. While at this year's conference, Antonio put together a quick campaign to lead the Student Congress and was elected president for next year's school term. The Houston High School Knowledge Bowl team, headed up by Miss Poole and Mr. Lofton, won first place this year. We have also continued our success in athletics. Houston High School has been best of the preps for 16 consecutive years, and the tradition looks like it's going to continue again. Just to name a few of our successes, our boys basketball team was this year's district champion. Our middle school cheer squad was second in the nation, and our high school cheer squad was named world champion. Here is a list of other clubs and athletic teams that were highly ranked in their fields. We are very proud of all the accomplishments of students, teachers, and administrators this year. The purpose of our show was to show our community the great things that are happening in our schools. We wanted to make sure that the students, teachers, coaches, and administrators get the recognition they deserve. As we finish our last Spotlight on Excellence, we would like to take another look at our motto. This is not so much a description of who we are, but who we want to be. Our goal is excellence, and we will continue to look for ways to improve and strive for excellence always.